So you'll have to excuse the loud rain. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but this is my little quick response to Zach George's new video on attack dogs. First things first, sport, police, military are all completely different. You associating sport dogs and their handlers and everything with police dogs that have been sent to apprehend somebody, I think is insane. I understand where it's coming from the protection leg of IGP and everything for, the apprehension send out and all of that. But you got to understand, like, the first things first that everybody needs to understand is that police and military dogs are tools. They are not pets. That's it. They are tools. And I think when you get that point across, or you understand that point, you digest that, you realize that, then, I think you'll have a better understanding of the situation. Now, does that mean that they're all trained to the max and that they can get no better? No, that's not true at all. I think, I've worked with some police departments, I've worked with military, on the civilian side of things for the personal protection aspect and all that. And yeah, there's a lot that can go into bite development, calming the grip, getting the dog not to rebite, developing the out, working on the out. There's a lot more that can go into it, but it's a lot of time, it's a lot of education, it's a lot of work. And these dogs have a job. These dogs have a job to apprehend. They have a job to search. They have a job to be the tool that they've been developed to be. And I'm not saying that them being a tool makes them any less of a sentient being or whatever, but that's their purpose. I do agree that if somebody has surrendered or they're on the ground or whatever, sending a dog is just a terrible move. Like, that's just being a bad person. The lady that got bit in the head because she was hiding in the bushes, she was evading the police. So if there's, to me, this whole thing sounds like it's a systemic police problem, a personnel problem, less so than it is a dog problem. I personally don't think dogs should be taken out of police and military work at all. The biggest thing that they're used for is, scent detection, tracking, and everything like that. Dogs really aren't sent out on people that often, unless you've created a huge problem and you're trying to evade and they send the dog out. So if you have another suggestion on how to stop somebody when they're evading, like, I don't know what you want, tranquilize them. I don't know how humane that is. Like, and I will agree. And when a dog rebites, yeah, that's gonna really suck for the suspect. Absolutely. I hate getting bit. I hate getting bit by the same dog twice in a couple seconds, because they they went to regrip or whatever, or they're thrashing or they're chittering across, they're typewritering, yeah, dude, that sucks. And it can be, most of the time it can be fixed. It just takes a long time. And it takes a lot of effort. And even then, not every dog is going to be able to not do that. But for what they're being used for, if they're great in these other categories and everything, and they excel and, they're mostly good, they're going to use them, man. Like, you're talking so much time and money to add in. And a lot of these police departments don't have that budget to do that with these dogs. And the problem with the military dogs, and this is just my opinion from my short time working with the MWDs, between a couple states, some stateside and some overseas, is the handlers change too frequently. The dogs are used to having multiple handlers. The handlers don't know enough, as far as further development of the dog. And the trainers, one or two trainers that they have per base aren't highly super educated either for the most part. And that's not on them, man. That's a funding thing. Like the military wants to, and the military does bring in good people to help work with these trainers and help educate them. But, it's not frequent enough. And it's a temporary duty to be a canine handler. And at least, well, I guess my experience is with the Air Force, so I don't really know about the other branches, but, you're only there for X amount of time and then you're back on, gate duty, patrol, or whatever other spot that, force is needed. And that can matter. That can definitely matter to the dog. If the dog gets inconsistency, and then it's going to start acting inconsistent, in my opinion. But to go after the sport world, I think it's either on purpose to try and garner some views and traction and everything to like try and get a bunch of engagement. I can't think of another reason why you would do it, because the sport world for dogs is just so small, and it's a passion thing. Like there's no money in it. You win world, you hardly get enough to maybe even cover your flight back, or depending on where you're from. Like there's just not enough for the amount of time that goes into it. There ain't no money in it, that's for sure. The whole thing about sport is about the passion between handler and dog, and the people wanting to show that to others, in their field, other, their colleagues, their friends and everything, and just go out there to put it out there like, hey, this is our relationship. This is our show of precision, of control and everything. Like, I don't understand why you would attack that. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Because most excellent, IGP3, PSA3, whatever, dogs are exceptional in their control and their behavior and their genetics and everything. And yeah, sure, some of them probably aren't great around other people and everything like that. And, some of them are, but that's any dog, man. That doesn't have to be a sport dog. I just don't understand the correlation. I think it's insane. If you haven't, you haven't trained IGP, PSA, Mondio, you haven't gone the trials, you haven't, worked on titling a dog, and you have you just have zero experience and connection with the community and the sport. I really don't feel like you have any leg to talk about it at all. Like you just don't. You just don't. And honestly, like if you're really hooked on this police military attack dog, little tangent thing that you're going on now, you need to talk to Jerry Bradshaw. That's going to be your guy to talk to and see if he has an opinion on it. It's what he does, is police and military dogs. And if you don't know who Jerry Bradshaw is even, then you really definitely don't have any leg to talk on this subject about. And here's the thing. If you've never worked with any police department, any military, any of these things that you're advocating against, do you really feel like you have the education and experience to really give this kind of opinion on it? Like, and it's really the call to action that frustrated me the most. Like, you can have your opinion, that's fine. It can be an anecdotal opinion, that's great. But because we're human, that's what we do. We give opinions on our feelings and life experiences. But, with your platform and everything and all of that, I really feel like personally you should reach out to experts in the field and get some, and talk about it. Have a talk about it. Talk to Jerry, from Tar Heel and Controlled Aggression. Talk to Ivan with Training Without Conflict. Talk to, Robert Cabral. Have a conversation with these people that have dedicated their lives to their craft Like, I just feel like that would be fair. No, maybe I don't know. I'm a nobody, man. I'm giving my anecdotal experience right now. I think it was a really bad move to attack the sport world. I really do. I don't know if that was a good move. And I don't really think it was well deserved either. Like, you guys already got stick hits taken out of dog sport, which was dumb. You know, it's about testing the confidence of the dog when you're doing stick hits, and the stick hits aren't going to hurt the dog. But oh, it looks mean. Oh no! Like, stop it. There's a difference between pet dog training, and there's a difference between advanced training and specialized training. And I really feel like people, for the most part, I feel like maybe people understand that. Maybe they don't. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think your big problem is the idea, not the ideology, but the way that these things are taught. And maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe you're like, I don't want Mr. Floofy to be viewed as I attack people, but like, I feel like only uneducated people would feel that way about dogs in general. Like, dogs don't have hands. They can't talk. They use their mouth. Like, it is what it is. They work off of drive. They work off of food drive, off of prey drive, whatever. They're not humans. Stop trying to make them humans, because they are not humans. So there you go. That's a big one. But anyway, this is my shortest retort. I have another hour of ranting, but I'm not going to probably post it. Anyway, Zach, you should reach out to Jerry. You should reach out to Ivan. You should reach out to Robert. Somebody in the field, somebody that has experience, and expertise in what you're trying to give a call to action to stop. Now, if you want to, as far as like change the incarceration system and how we do that in the United States, hey man, I would agree with you on that. I think we can do better, for sure. But I don't think you have to attack the dog community, the sport community, the police and military over that. Like, a lot of these problems sound like personnel problems, not necessarily dog problems. So that's my opinion. There you go.